I was born and raised here in the Mission. When that teacher said, please stand up, people who really feel they agree with this program, 3 people stood up. When I first came to this meeting, the rouse for this meeting, or your excuse for being here in our district, in our neighborhood, to disrupt our way of living, was because somebody called you. One person raised their hand. Today's excuse from you and MTA is that the businesses, we're closing down a parking lot, so we have to come in right away and fix the problem. What problem? My God, we have been coexisting, living in peace. You've ruined North Beach. You've ruined the people who go to church because now you're extending the parking meter times to go to church. You're ruining something. You're making a mess out of nothing that doesn't need to be made a mess with. You're messing with us, not only economically, but socially. How many Latinos are in this room? What type of outreach did you do? We come from the Latino Democratic Club to ensure that we're represented. I don't see it. Number 2, follow the money. If you tell me you can lower our parking rates of 25 cents an hour, what's to stop you to hike it up the very next month? Yeah. Number 3, who's making money out of this? It's certainly not going to be us.
Muni.
Okay, does Muni provide on-time transportation? No. We could throw millions, which we have at Muni, and Ed, I warned you about this when you first came on board. You're inheriting the mess. It's not going to work because you don't have effective management. And this is all a rouse for you to get more money from us on our backs. The man here is telling you, listen to him. Amen. You're just going over it. That's a done deal. What you put up there is a done deal. Because you're not going to listen to us. You're going to ram it down our throats. But I'm going to tell you one thing. My thing is, we are the government. We are the people that elect everybody here. I'm not used to having department heads and departments coming into my district and say, this is the way it's going to be. No, Nanette. That is not the way it's going to be, because you're going to have pushback, just like you did on Monday. You're going to have pushback here. Some of us are children of the 60s. We do not roll over without a fight. And there will be a fight. You are having pushback here. You've got an intelligent man here who is telling you something. Doesn't matter. You've got your plan. You're going to steamroller us one way or the other. And it's going to be incumbent upon us to speak up, go to City Hall, and mobilize against this plan. What is the solution? That young lady should have done a survey of every resident and business here. Was that done? No. Where are our voices included? Nowhere. So until you can sit down with the neighborhood and business people and have a sincere, honest approach to what we have here, why fix something that's not? You said, you have your script, it's a play. I was looking at you. You're giving us a play that's non-existent.
40 years.
That's all I have to say. 40 years, this man. 60 years. Did we have a problem? No. Now we have a problem with you coming in to mess with us. Thank you.
Hi, Michael Alonso, Vice President of Political Affairs for the San Francisco Latino Democrats, and I cannot follow that kind of act. I love my sister here. Like her, I was born in the city, so that's my native credentials right there. Second, I want to bring up the point that, where's your outreach to the Latino community? Keep in mind, this is the Mission District, man, all right? We are well over a third of the population, and I have to, when I do my count here, I have to count Supervisor Campos and the interpreter to barely, I don't think we're even at 10. That's not a third. We should at least have a third. Let me give you a little example, okay? Last month, we had the Mission Peace Collaborative over at Everett. Okay? We had 200 Latinos from the community, from the mission, show up. And that was just word of mouth. Okay, so I don't know what you guys spend money on to get the word out to us. Obviously, it didn't work. Okay, there you go. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that I got a phone call from a very good friend of mine here in this room, I would not have known about this meeting. All right. Second thing I want to bring up. You mentioned the 50 cents for every commuter who drives. I'm sorry, you are not taking into account how much he's paid for the bridge toll, how much he's paying for gas, insurance, and the reason a lot of these folks are still working here in San Francisco is because they got pushed out of San Francisco. They probably had lived here in San Francisco. They probably did live in the Mission, but they got shoved out into Richmond, into Oakland, not by choice. Not by choice, mind you. Okay, but because of, all due respect, horrible planning made by department heads or from city politicians. Not us. No one ever talked to us, asked us. All right? This is the third meeting? Hey, it's my first. All right, this is my first. How many of y'all is here first? Real quick. Okay, there you go. Thank you. And he's been here for 40 years.
40 years.
There you go. All right? So,
I got plates in my neck and new eyes too.
there you go. So let me tell you something, all right, man? You're going to take this plan and you're going to take it back to the drawing board. All right? That's our proposal. You're going to take it back to the drawing board. All right? And believe me when I say, the Latinos and every other blue-collar person in this room should have a seat at that table when you draw it up. And we'll tell you right now, this is nothing more than taking a baseball bat to delicate surgery. Okay?
Your supervisor just sitting there saying nothing. You need to talk to that man.
He's here listening.
He's here listening. Feel free to give me a call. And that's all I really